Welcome back to the Expensive Coins History channel, collectors, enthusiasts, and those curious about what may be hiding in your pocket change. Today, we are diving deep into the fascinating and often overlooked world of modern coinage to examine a specific coin that might just be in your possession, the 2004 P Washington quarter dollar. While it may appear like a common piece of loose change, this coin has a story that stretches across American history, the evolution of modern minting, and the world of error collecting. In this episode, we will explore its origins, design, production details, errors, grading potential, rarity, and how much it's actually worth in today's collector market in 2025. You'll be surprised at what can make one of these ordinary coins worth hundreds, or even thousands, of dollars. First introduced in 1932, this coin was designed to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The obverse of the coin features a left-facing portrait of Washington, designed by sculptor John Flanagan. This design remained mostly unchanged for decades, becoming a familiar symbol of American coinage. Fast forward to 1999, and a major transformation occurred. The United States Mint launched the 50 State Quarters program, a bold initiative to issue commemorative quarters honoring each of the 50 states. Every 10 weeks, a new state design was released, replacing the traditional eagle reverse with state-specific themes. This program reignited public interest in numismatics and introduced millions of Americans to the hobby of coin collecting. The year 2004 marked the 6th year of the State Quarter series. 5 new quarters were released that year: Michigan, Florida, Texas, Iowa, and Wisconsin. Each design featured the standard Washington portrait on the obverse, with unique reverses commemorating the respective state's history and culture. All of these coins were minted in both Philadelphia and Denver. Today, our focus is on the 2004 coins minted in Philadelphia, marked with the letter P. The Philadelphia Mint is one of the oldest and most prolific mints in the United States, and in 2004 it produced hundreds of millions of quarters. The 2004 P Michigan quarter saw a mintage of approximately 225 million. The Florida quarter, around 240 million. Texas surpassed 278 million, Iowa came in at just over 213 million, and the Wisconsin quarter had a mintage of roughly 226 million. These staggering numbers tell us that the vast majority of 2004 P quarters are considered common in circulated condition. These coins were struck for general circulation and handled by millions of hands across the country. As a result, most examples show signs of wear, contact marks, and dull luster. However, not all coins are created equal. While circulated 2004 P quarters may only be worth their face value, things change dramatically when we look at uncirculated and error examples. In numismatics, condition is everything. A coin's value can increase exponentially with each grade level achieved. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale, with 70 representing a perfect, flawless example. For modern coins like the 2004 P Washington quarter, grades of MS-60 to MS-65 are relatively common. However, coins that achieve MS-66 and above become significantly harder to find, and MS-68 coins are truly exceptional. To achieve a grade of MS-67 or MS-68, a coin must be perfectly struck, with no visible contact marks, strong luster, and pristine surfaces. These high-grade examples are usually found in original mint rolls or bags and are sometimes submitted for grading by professional grading services. In 2025, a certified 2004 P quarter graded MS-68 can command a price of $150 to $300 depending on demand, population reports, and collector interest. In rare cases where the coin is nearly flawless, with deep frost and razor-sharp devices, Prices may even surpass $500. Coins graded MS69 are extraordinarily rare for business strikes and are considered near perfection. If one exists for the 2004 P quarter, it would be considered a trophy piece among modern collectors. Now let's talk about where things get interesting: errors and varieties. Error coins are often the result of minting mishaps, and they can dramatically increase a coin's value. In the case of the 2004 P Washington quarters, there are a few known varieties and errors, though most are subtle. One of the most talked about varieties in the 2004 series doesn't actually come from the Philadelphia Mint, but it's worth mentioning. The 2004 D Wisconsin quarter is famous for its extra leaf errors, specifically the high leaf and low leaf varieties. These errors were the result of damage or foreign material on the die that created what appears to be an additional leaf near the corn husk on the reverse. Although these are Denver Mint issues, they sparked renewed interest in all 2004 quarters, including those from Philadelphia. As a result, collectors began closely examining their 2004 P quarters, hoping to find anomalies. While no major design varieties like the extra leaf have been confirmed from the Philadelphia issues, minor die cracks, cuds, die clashes, and strike-through errors have been reported, particularly on the Iowa and Florida quarters. These minor errors can range in value depending on their severity and visibility. A dramatic die clash might sell for $30 to $75, while a small die crack may only fetch $10 to $20 unless it significantly distorts the design. Coins with retained strike-throughs, where part of a foreign object remains embedded in the coin, can be worth several $100s depending on condition and appeal. Collectors always seek unique pieces, and with increased public interest in minting flaws, even the most subtle errors are getting noticed. Now let's take a close look at the current market in 2025. Over the last decade, interest in modern U.S. coinage has grown steadily. Thanks to social media, online coin forums, and a younger generation entering the hobby, there's more attention on state quarters than ever before. What was once dismissed as pocket change is now being scrutinized under magnifying glasses and microscopes. For collectors focusing on modern errors and high-grade examples, the 2004 P Washington quarters represent an affordable entry point. Prices for common circulated coins remain at face value, 25 cents. However, if a coin is in uncirculated condition or shows a recognized error, the value can climb rapidly. In 2025, the typical market value breakdown for a 2004 P quarter is as follows: circulated condition, face value uncirculated MS60, MS64, $1 to $5 certified MS65, $5 to $10 MS66, $10 to $20 MS67, $25 to $60 MS68 and above, $150 to $500 or more, depending on registry set demand. Minor error coins, $10 to $100 based on type major or dramatic errors, $200 to $1,000 plus depending on uniqueness and grade. Coins certified by top grading companies are especially sought after in higher grades. Registry set collectors, who aim to complete the finest sets possible, are willing to pay top dollar for low population coins, those that have been graded at higher levels but exist in very limited numbers. So, what does all this mean for you? If you're holding on to a handful of 2004 P Washington quarters, now is the time to examine them closely. Look for sharp details, clean surfaces, and strong luster. Use a magnifying glass or loupe to scan for potential die cracks, cuds, or other minting anomalies. If you believe you've found something unusual, consider having the coin evaluated by a professional numismatist or third-party grading service. Even if your coins are not rare or valuable, they are still an important part of American history. The 2004 P quarters represent a time when numismatics returned to the spotlight in the public consciousness, thanks to the wildly successful state quarters program. They are reminders that everyday objects can tell extraordinary stories. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a newcomer to the hobby, always remember, every coin has a past, and some may have a future that's worth far more than just 25 cents. We are diving deep into one of the most overlooked yet potentially valuable coins in American numismatics, the 1966 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark. While it may appear ordinary at first glance, this coin holds a fascinating place in U.S. coin history, and under the right conditions, it could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars in today's market. Stay tuned as we explore its unique backstory, the details that drive its value, and how you can determine if you have a treasure in your pocket. To understand the significance of the 1966 Jefferson nickel, we need to take a step back into the mid-1960s. This was a period marked by economic challenges, coin shortages, and legislative responses to widespread hoarding. The public had begun pulling coins from circulation, especially those containing silver. In response, the U.S. Mint made dramatic changes to coinage policy. Between 1965 and 1967, the Mint removed mint marks from all circulating coins, including the Jefferson nickel. This decision aimed to discourage hoarding and limit collector speculation. As a result, every 1966 Jefferson nickel, regardless of where it was minted, bears no mint mark. That makes this year unique because collectors cannot determine whether a coin was struck in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. Production of the 1966 nickel was also delayed. Instead of minting the coins throughout the year as usual, the Mint began striking them in August and continued through December. Despite this shortened production window, over 156 million 1966 Jefferson nickels were minted. While that may seem like a large number, the vast majority entered everyday circulation, making pristine examples exceedingly rare today. The design of the 1966 Jefferson nickel features the same familiar elements introduced in 1938. The obverse, or front of the coin, displays a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States. His hair is tied back in a ribbon, and the inscriptions include the word Liberty, the date, 1966, and the national motto, In God We Trust. The reverse side showcases Jefferson's Virginia home, Monticello, centered in a neoclassical architectural style. The inscriptions on the reverse include E pluribus unum, Monticello, 5 cents, and United States of America. The coin's composition is a copper-nickel alloy, specifically 75% copper and 25% nickel. It has a diameter of 21.2 millimeters and weighs approximately 5 grams. One of the key changes in 1966 was the addition of the initials FS on the obverse, just below Jefferson's portrait, representing Felix Schlag, the designer of the coin. This was the first time his initials appeared on the nickel since its debut nearly 3 decades earlier. In 1966, there were 2 major types of Jefferson nickels produced: the standard business strike intended for circulation, and the special mint set, or SMS, coins created for collectors. The business strikes were released into the economy and experienced normal wear and tear. The SMS coins, on the other hand, were struck with greater care using polished dies and blanks, resulting in a smoother, more lustrous finish. However, it is important to note that even among SMS coins, the quality varied. Some show cameo or even deep cameo contrast between frosted designs and mirror-like fields. These cameo finishes command significant premiums today, especially in higher grades. Now we come to one of the most critical elements affecting the value of any Jefferson nickel, the full steps designation. This term refers to the detail visible on the steps of Monticello on the reverse of the coin. For a coin to earn the full steps classification, it must exhibit at least 5, or ideally all 6, sharply defined steps, without interruptions due to weak strikes or contact marks. In the case of the 1966 nickel, full steps examples are exceptionally rare. Most of the coins struck that year suffered from poor die maintenance and low-pressure strikes, resulting in mushy or flat step details. For this reason, full steps coins from 1966 are among the most elusive in the entire Jefferson nickel series. Because of this scarcity, certified examples with the full steps designation and high mint state grades can command massive premiums at auction. In fact, some have sold for thousands of dollars, especially in MS 65 and MS 66 grades. These coins are highly sought after by registry collectors aiming to complete top-tier Jefferson nickel sets. The value of your 1966 Jefferson nickel depends on several factors, whether it is a circulation strike or an SMS coin, its grade, its luster and eye appeal, and most importantly, whether it qualifies for full steps. Circulated 1966 nickels without any notable features generally hold only face value. These are the nickels you may still find in your change, worn and dull from decades of use. Even uncirculated examples in lower mint state grades, such as MS 60 or MS 62, may be worth only $1 or $2. As the grade increases to MS 64 and above, the value begins to rise. An MS 65 example may be worth between $10 and $30, depending on the strike and surface quality. A top-grade MS 66 coin can reach values over $100 if it displays excellent detail and luster. Now, coins with full steps in grades of MS 64 and higher are where the real value lies. A 1966 Jefferson nickel-graded MS 65 with full steps can fetch anywhere from $2,000 to $5,000, depending on market demand and population. An MS 66 full steps coin could potentially exceed $10,000 if certified by a major grading service and offered in a high-profile auction. Special mint set coins also have value, especially those with cameo or deep cameo finishes. SMS coins in MS 67 or MS 68 with deep cameo contrast can reach into the hundreds or even low thousands, especially if the coin exhibits perfect fields and minimal marks. So, how do you know if you have a valuable 1966 Jefferson nickel? Here are some key things to look for. First, check the condition. If your coin shows heavy wear or discoloration, it's likely a circulated piece with minimal value. Next, inspect the reverse side closely using a magnifying glass or loupe. Look at the steps on Monticello. Are they full and uninterrupted, or are they flattened and blurry? If you see 5 or 6 sharp, clean lines, you may have a full step specimen. Also, consider whether the coin has an unusually sharp strike or strong reflectivity. If so, it may be an SMS coin. Cameo or deep cameo contrast is another bonus. Lastly, if you believe your coin is in exceptional condition, it may be worth sending to a professional grading service for certification. Coins that are certified in high grades with full steps or cameo designations often sell for exponentially more than their uncertified counterparts. The 1966 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel is a fascinating piece of American coinage history. Born out of a time of change and economic stress, it stands as a testament to the evolving policies of the U.S. Mint. While millions were produced, only a small fraction remain in pristine condition, and even fewer with the coveted full steps designation. These rare gems can transform a 5-cent coin into a 4 or even 5-figure collector's item. So next time you're sorting through your change or your coin collection, don't overlook this common-looking nickel. It could be anything but ordinary. The 1999 D. Jefferson nickel. Whether you are a seasoned collector, an investor, or someone who just found one in your pocket and wonders if it's worth more than its face value, this video will give you an exhaustive look at everything you need to know, from its origin and composition, to the nuances that make some examples rare and valuable in 2025. The Jefferson nickel has been a staple of United States coinage since its introduction in 1938. Designed by Felix Schlag, it features the third President of the United States, Thomas Jefferson, on the obverse side, while the reverse showcases his iconic home, Monticello. The 1999 issue minted at the Denver Mint, identified by the D Mint mark, is part of the long-running series produced for general circulation. In 1999, the United States Mint struck over 1 billion nickels across its facilities, with the Denver Mint alone producing more than 1 billion coins bearing the D Mint mark. This vast number makes the 1999 D one of the most common Jefferson nickels in circulation. Each coin is composed primarily of a cupronickel alloy, 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving it a sturdy construction and the familiar silver-gray appearance. Weighing 5 grams and measuring 21.2 millimeters in diameter, it has remained unchanged in physical specifications for decades. Though mass-produced and intended for everyday transactions, the 1999 D nickel carries significance as part of the final years of the classic Jefferson design before the Westward Journey series began in the early 2000s, marking a transitional period in American coinage history. At first glance, the 1999 D Jefferson nickel appears to be just another ordinary coin, but for numismatists, subtle differences can elevate its status and value significantly. The primary factor influencing its collectability is the coin's condition or grade. Most 1999 D nickels found in circulation show the wear and tear of decades of handling, making them worth no more than their face value of 5 cents. However, uncirculated examples, those that have never been used in commerce, command higher prices. Grading services evaluate these coins on a scale from 1 to 70, with mint state grades beginning at 60 and above. Coins graded MS 65 or better are considered highly desirable, especially if they display sharp detail and no signs of wear. A particularly sought-after variety is the full steps FS designation. This term refers to the state of preservation on the Monticello building on the reverse side of the coin. If all the horizontal steps on Monticello's front are fully visible and sharply defined without any signs of smoothing or wear, the coin is awarded the full step status. Collectors prize FS coins because they demonstrate superior strike quality and sharpness, traits rarely seen in circulated nickels. Among full steps coins, those graded at MS 67 or above are exceptionally rare. These coins have flawless surfaces, full sharp details, and command premium prices in the market. In fact, examples graded MS 67 FS are almost mythical among collectors due to their scarcity. So, what is the actual value of a 1999 D Jefferson nickel in today's market? The answer varies widely based on condition, certification, and whether the coin possesses the coveted full steps variety. For coins in circulated condition, showing signs of wear, scratches, or minor damage, the value rarely exceeds face value. Most casual finders will have no trouble spending these coins at their standard 5 cents. However, for uncirculated coins graded by professional services, the landscape changes considerably. A 1999 D nickel graded MS 60 might fetch a few dollars at most. As the grade improves, the price rises. For example, an MS 65 example could be worth between $10 and $20, depending on the seller and market demand. The premium comes dramatically with full steps examples. MS 65 FS coins generally command prices well into the tens of dollars. As the grade ascends to MS 66 and beyond, values can jump to over $100. An MS 67 full steps nickel represents the pinnacle of rarity and collector interest, with recorded auction prices reaching several $100s, beyond the traditional collector market. The 1999 D nickel's intrinsic metal value is minimal due to the low cost of copper and nickel. Therefore, its worth is almost exclusively tied to numismatic factors rather than metal content. Collectors often seek varieties and error coins as a way to find hidden value in common dates like the 1999 D nickel. While the 1999 D does not have widely recognized major mint errors, minor varieties and error coins occasionally surface. Some nickels from this year have been documented with off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or die cracks. These errors, when verified and authenticated, can carry premiums ranging from modest to substantial, depending on severity and rarity. Another frequently discussed but misunderstood phenomenon is die deterioration doubling. This occurs when the coin die wears down, causing a shadow or doubling effect on letters or numbers. Unlike true double die errors, which are highly valuable, die deterioration doubling is common and generally holds little additional value. Because error coins can be a confusing area for new collectors, it's important to have any suspected errors professionally examined and graded. Many errors command a premium, but only verified and well-documented varieties achieve significant market interest. If you happen to have a 1999 D Jefferson nickel in your possession and want to determine its potential worth, here are some professional tips. First, carefully examine the steps on the Monticello building. A magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe can help you detect if the steps are fully defined, indicating a full steps variety. Second, assess the overall condition. Coins with no signs of wear, scratches, or discoloration are worth more. Consider submitting high-grade examples to professional grading services like PCGS or NGC to authenticate and protect your investment. Third, stay informed about current market trends. Coin values fluctuate with collector interest, precious metal prices, and economic conditions, so consulting recent auction results and dealer price guides is advisable. Finally, be cautious of common misconceptions. Not all doubling is valuable, and not all full steps coins carry the same premium. Education and experience are key to navigating the complex world of coin collecting. While the 1999 D Jefferson nickel may seem like an everyday coin to many, it holds layers of history and collecting intrigue beneath its modest surface. From the millions minted to the rare and coveted full-step specimens, this nickel embodies the essence of American coinage, a blend of accessibility and the pursuit of rarity. Whether you're a beginner curious about the coins in your pocket or a seasoned collector seeking that elusive high-grade full steps, understanding the 1999 D nickel's history, grading nuances, and current market value is essential. The 1984 D Jefferson 5-cent coin. While many may overlook this unassuming nickel, there's far more beneath the surface than just 5 cents of face value. From its origins at the Denver Mint to its potential value today in 2025, the 1984 D Jefferson nickel carries hidden potential for collectors, investors, and history lovers alike. Let's take a detailed journey through its story. From minting to market, the Jefferson nickel series began in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel, and has since become one of the longest-running coin series in United States history. The design was created by sculptor Felix Schlag, featuring a left-facing bust of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his famous Virginia estate, Monticello, on the reverse. By 1984, the Jefferson nickel had been circulating for nearly 5 decades. Although its design remained largely unchanged, its relevance as a circulating coin and collectible was as strong as ever. The 1984 D edition, struck at the Denver Mint, continues that legacy and represents an important piece of the broader Jefferson series. In 1984, the Denver Mint produced the Jefferson nickel in massive quantities, creating hundreds of millions of coins bearing the D Mint mark on the obverse, just to the right of Jefferson's portrait. Despite the large mintage, many examples have been lost to circulation, and high-grade specimens remain relatively scarce today. The coin's composition follows the standard alloy used since 1946, a cupronickel blend consisting of 75% copper and 25% nickel. This gives the coin its characteristic silver-gray appearance. It weighs precisely 5 grams, has a diameter of 21.2 millimeters, and features a smooth edge, though many examples of the 1984 D nickel exist in worn circulated condition. Pristine specimens can showcase incredibly sharp details, particularly in the steps of Monticello, a feature which brings us to one of the most important considerations for this coin. Strike quality. Point one of the key indicators of a well-struck Jefferson nickel is the presence of what numismatists call full steps. On the reverse of the coin, Monticello's staircase features 6 distinct horizontal steps. When these are clearly defined without any interruptions or wear, a coin may receive the full steps designation from grading services. Full steps nickels are much harder to come by, especially from certain years or mints where die wear, misalignment, or weak strikes were common. In 1984, the Denver Mint produced many nickels with less than perfect detail. As a result, full steps examples from this year are considerably scarcer than their total mintage might suggest. This increased scarcity adds significant value to coins that display this full strike detail, particularly in mint state grades. Collectors will often pay a premium for a 1984 D Jefferson nickel that has been certified with the full steps designation, especially when it also grades MS 65 or higher. Coin grading plays a vital role in determining a coin's market value. For the 1984 D Jefferson nickel, the range of possible values varies dramatically based on condition and whether or not the coin displays full steps. In circulated grades, such as very fine, extremely fine, or about uncirculated, the 1984 D nickel is typically worth its face value. These coins are commonly found in change and display varying degrees of wear, lacking the sharp details desired by collectors. In mint state grades, which range from MS 60 to MS 70, the value begins to increase. A basic uncirculated 1984 D nickel in MS 60 to MS 63 condition may be worth a few dollars, depending on luster, surface quality, and strike. As the grade improves to MS 64 or MS 65, values rise, often reaching the $10 to $20 range for well-struck examples. The real value lies in full steps examples. An MS 65 full steps 1984 D Jefferson nickel can command a premium over standard mint state coins. Prices can range from $20 to $50, depending on market demand, eye appeal, and certification. At the top end, coins graded MS 66 or MS 67 with full steps have reached prices well above $100. In rare instances, particularly stunning or perfectly preserved examples have sold for several $100s. These are the coins that attract advanced collectors seeking registry-worthy specimens. As of 2025, the coin collecting market has experienced renewed interest in classic mid-20th century coinage, including Jefferson nickels. The combination of rising demand for older American coinage and the steady disappearance of uncirculated coins from circulation has made the 1984 D Jefferson nickel increasingly attractive. Online auctions, collector forums, and coin shows all report steady sales of full steps Jefferson nickels. Many collectors are now focusing on building complete sets of full steps nickels by year and mint mark, a challenge that places pressure on the limited supply of high-grade 1984 D examples. Furthermore, the growth of online grading and coin registries has introduced more collectors to the importance of conditional rarity. While the 1984 D nickel is easy to find in average condition, finding one with sharp details, clean surfaces, and full step designation is considerably harder, making it a desirable addition to high-end collections. while the 1984 D nickel does not have many widely recognized major errors, it's always important for collectors to examine coins carefully for potential anomalies. Off-center strikes, die cracks, planchet errors, and repunched mint marks can all add significant interest and value. Although rare, coins with these types of minting errors can be worth much more than standard examples. Error collectors often pay a premium for dramatic or visually striking mistakes. If you come across an unusual 1984 D nickel, it's worth having it professionally examined. Also, be aware of coins that have been cleaned, damaged, or artificially enhanced. These will not receive top grades from certification companies and will often lose value rather than gain it. Always handle coins by the edges and store them in proper holders to preserve their condition. The 1984 D Jefferson nickel may seem ordinary at first glance, but like many coins in American history, its value lies in the details. With hundreds of millions produced, it remains common in circulated grades, yet elusive in pristine condition with full steps. For collectors looking to add value to their collection, seeking out a high-grade, certified example of this coin with full steps is a worthwhile investment. It's an affordable entry point into condition rarity and offers a rewarding challenge for those assembling a complete Jefferson nickel set.in 2025. The coin collecting community continues to appreciate coins that combine historical significance, aesthetic appeal, and conditional scarcity. The 1984 D Jefferson nickel fits all of those criteria, especially when preserved in top condition. We will explore everything you need to know about the 1987 Washington quarter, specifically focusing on the so-called no mint mark variety, its history, rarity, value, and current market trends as of 2025. Whether you are a seasoned collector or new to numismatics, this detailed overview will give you insight into what makes this quarter unique and whether it might be worth more than just 25 cents in your pocket. The Washington quarter has been a cornerstone of American coinage since its introduction in 1932, designed to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The design was created by John Flanagan and features a profile portrait of George Washington on the obverse, with a heraldic eagle on the reverse, symbolizing the strength and resilience of the nation. By the time we reached 1987, the quarter had seen numerous changes in composition and production methods, but the classic design remained largely consistent. In 1987, the U.S. Mint struck quarters at three primary locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Philadelphia and Denver produced business strike coins meant for general circulation, while the San Francisco Mint produced proof coins with special finishes intended for collectors. One important aspect of coin collecting is the mint mark, the small letter indicating where the coin was produced. For Washington quarters in 1987, the mint marks are as follows: P for Philadelphia, A, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco. Proofs. Unlike certain years in U.S. coinage history, where Philadelphia coins were struck without a mint mark, in 1987 Philadelphia quarters carried the P mint mark. This means that a genuine 1987 quarter without a mint mark does not officially exist from the Philadelphia or Denver mints. Occasionally, collectors may come across quarters that appear to have no mint mark due to post-mint damage, cleaning, or manufacturing errors. However, these are anomalies and not officially recognized varieties. Therefore, any no mint mark 1987 quarter is either a counterfeit, a damaged coin, or an error piece that requires careful authentication. The 1987 Washington quarter was minted in very large quantities. The Philadelphia Mint struck approximately 582 million coins, while the Denver Mint produced roughly 655 million. The San Francisco Mint released about 4.2 million proof quarters that year. Given these staggering production numbers, most 1987 quarters are common and easily found in circulation. This high availability means the vast majority of these coins are worth face value or only slightly more. especially if they show signs of wear. In coin collecting, condition, or grade, is paramount in determining value. Coins in pristine, mint state condition are far more valuable than those worn by circulation. Grading ranges from poor condition, where details are worn smooth, up to perfect uncirculated specimens with full luster and no marks. The Sheldon scale, used by grading services, ranges from 1 to 70. For the 1987 Washington quarter, circulated coins typically hold no premium and trade for face value or slightly more to collectors. However, uncirculated coins, especially those graded MS-65, mint state 65, or higher, begin to command significant premiums. Coins graded MS-67 or better are particularly rare for this date, and such examples can sell for hundreds of dollars due to their sharp details, original mint luster, and excellent eye appeal. The San Francisco Mint's proof quarters from 1987 have a special finish, characterized by a mirror-like background and frosted design elements. These coins were produced in lower numbers and primarily sold to collectors. Proof coins graded between PR65 and PR70 are more valuable than business strikes. High-grade proofs, especially those graded PR69 or PR70, can command prices well into the tens or even hundreds of dollars. Collectors prize these coins for their sharpness and aesthetic beauty, and the proof finish often results in more pronounced detail on Washington's portrait and the eagle's feathers, while the 1987 quarter is common. Erorr coins from this year offer some of the most exciting opportunities for collectors. Erorr coins are produced when something goes wrong during the minting process, resulting in coins with unusual or unique characteristics. Some notable 1987 Washington quarter errors include broad-struck errors, coins struck without the retaining collar, causing them to be broader and thinner than normal. These errors are visually striking and sought after, with values typically ranging from $20 to $30 or more. Off-center strikes, coins where the design is struck off the central axis, leading to part of the design missing or shifted. Depending on the severity of the off-centering, values can range from $20 for minor off-center errors to over $150 for more dramatic examples. Double die errors. This occurs when the coin's design is stamped twice with slight misalignment, creating a doubling effect on letters or design elements. These are subtle and can fetch premiums of $20 to $50 or more. Clipped planchets and mated pairs. These rarer errors occur when a coin is struck on a planchet that is partially clipped or where two planchets are stuck together and struck simultaneously, creating fascinating visual anomalies. Such coins can sell for several $100s depending on condition and severity. As of 2025, the market for 1987 Washington quarters remains steady with subtle increases in high-grade and erorr coin values. Common circulated quarters trade at face value or slightly above, often around 25 cents to $1. Uncirculated Philadelphia and Denver quarters graded MS-65 typically range from $10 to $20, while MS-67 examples can fetch prices from $300 to over $600 depending on the grader and eye appeal. Proof coins graded PR69 to PR70 are valued between $30 and $250, with the highest grades achieving the upper end of this range. Erorr coins, particularly broad-struck and off-center varieties, command premiums from $20 to several $100s based on rarity and condition. Collectors are increasingly drawn to these erorr coins, which add excitement and uniqueness to their collections beyond the standard quarter. To summarize, the 1987 Washington quarter is a widely available coin with a solid collector base. While there is no legitimate, no mint mark variety for this year, the coin offers value in several areas. High-grade uncirculated specimens can command significant premiums. Proof coins appeal to collectors looking for superior strike quality and aesthetics. Erorr coins provide some of the most lucrative and interesting collecting opportunities. For collectors considering investing in the 1987 quarter, it is essential to focus on condition and authenticity. Coins certified by reputable grading companies tend to hold their value better and are easier to sell. Moreover, exploring error varieties can be rewarding but requires knowledge or consultation with experts to verify genuine mint-made anomalies. Thank you for joining us on this thorough exploration of the 1987 Washington quarter. Whether you are hunting for pristine mint state coins, intriguing error varieties, or simply learning about American coinage history, this quarter offers an unexpected depth of interest. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more expert insights into numismatics. Until next time, happy collecting!